Yeah, it's correct. I was back last week too, by the way.
Well, I mean, okay, but this is a different week. I might be talking into the camera again. I'm not. I just checked it.
No, I'm good. Do I sound good to you?
You
You
sound
sound
wonderful.
great.
Thank
Dave?
you. Heavenly.
Dave,
Penis.
move the mic closer to you.
Penis.
If you did that the entire time, I would love listening to your voice.
Hello and welcome to the Filter Free Podcast. I am your host, TJ Stevens.
Problematic.
Out of my left earbud.
Getting off to a banging start here.
Joining me as always,
Step ends.
Dollar Bill Dave.
I touched myself.
I just need to clip that. Just Dave leaning for I touched myself.
And Timmy C.
Goo, goo, goo.
Dave's is awesome, and he got a new hat, and it's hilarious. Are you drunk? Yes or no? And it's marked on the right-hand side for both.
Time limit draws get my panties wet. I love it.
We've covered this butt wipe on a few different occasions.
Butt wipe?
You don't call people butt wipe anymore?
No, I'm not 7. Good news is I've limited the producer's amount to screw us over this, so we're actually going to get to sing along with the songs now. You are welcome.
You gotta fight for your right to
Pow!
Hello and welcome to the Filter Free Podcast. I'm your host, TJ Stevens.
Step ins.
Squirrel.
Squirrel. Joining me as always, Dollar Bill Dave.
Hey, y'all.
And Timmy C.
So here's what I love. We're talking before, and I told Dave, I said, scoot your mic closer. He scooted it closer. As the intro's going, takes a drink of his beer and moves the mic back to where it was.
I'm Samantha.
It's
You're
tilted
Samantha?
the wrong way too, moron.
Oh.
There you go.
I'm Samantha.
That's why my microphone's out of frame, Dave. You can't see it.
Right? And you just see just a tad of mine.
See, you can just see the tip here of mine.
Just the tip.
Just the tip.
Dave's
Just for
tip
a
is bigger.
second.
By the way,
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
sounds fabulous.
Dave has a future in voice recording.
My uncle just started a job doing that.
Voice recording?
I've actually looked into it. I
He's
think
doing
I'm
it.
gonna-
He built a studio in his house, and he's doing it.
I think I'm going to try to do it.
Who's he doing it with?
Joe Mama.
People.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Please remember to subscribe and rate this show wherever you get your podcasts. While you're at it, follow the show on Twitter at FF Podcast, on Instagram at Filter Free Podcast. Follow our network on Twitter at Ram Sportsnet. And of course, if you go to patreon.com/The Ram Network, Timmy, what is available for them?
Hold on.
Get your butterfly net.
All right. So you will get our old school legends. Let's rethink this. Coming up in here in about a month. Football is getting paid with Tim and Dave. You will get old school Evolution of Evil. Wrestling with commercials, which we're going to cut a new one tomorrow night. We just talked about. You will get all of our events that we're going to be having. You'll get our flagship shows. You will get TNA Top 10. You will get Talking Wrestling with Pond and Water Dave. You will get us. And then you will get my favorite show on the network, World Class Flashback, where me and Pond Water Dave are tearing up 1983 right now. You will get Hard Times and Beyond, where Dave and Andrew Hermes are talking dusty roads and other assorted NWA.
We're in
things.
December 1985, NWA.
There you go. You will also get Eras, the new generation, with Dave and assorted guests.
We are on the road to Royal Rumble 1993.
Wow, that was quick. Didn't you just do like Royal Rumble? No, you did Survivor Series 92.
Yeah, but there was absolutely nothing that went between that. So the last episode we did, we actually covered the first episode of Monday Night Raw.
Ooh.
And so now we're doing the second episode of Monday Night Raw.
Damian Demento.
And then Royal Rumble hits, and we're going to do a watch along for the Royal Rumble.
You said a
Nice.
while ago that Rumble was a shit show. I actually thought the Rumble match itself did its job with making Yokozuna, The only issue is from here to WrestleMania 9, and WrestleMania 9 itself is trash. But we also say we've had this kind of discussion off camera. I think it honestly, had it not been for Undertaker and Giant Gonzalez and the Hulk Hogan debacle, both his match with Money Inc. and then the aftermath, I don't think 9's that bad outside of those two things.
I think it's visually pleasing.
Yeah, I mean, it's a nice aesthetic. What else?
Thanks for adding things, Dave.
It sucks.
You also get just put
I
in
like
your mouth.
WrestleMania 9. I'm kidding.
And what's the other? I'm missing one. I was there.
I was there. Put it in your mouth.
I'm never there, but I was there. But all for the low price of $10 a month. Go to www.patreon.com/Ram Network and subscribe today.
And if you are one of our many Patreon members and you're kind of looking at the extra stuff and going, man, kind of the same group of people doing everything. My schedule, just from a work perspective, and now with this union spot I have, my union stuff's been through the roof. But my wife, of course, had her health scare a couple months ago. I'm through a lot of that, so you're going to start seeing me pop up a lot more. I think T-Weave didn't want to jinx himself, but he's hoping to hop on more often. So you're going to start seeing more faces starting to appear. It's just so far, it's been hellacious trying to get us all together at once.
Well, it's summertime.
There is that.
Dave's been on vacation the last 6 weeks. We have him today, and I'm pretty sure he's leaving again on Monday.
The day this episode drops, I'll be on vacation again.
There you go. He's either on vacation or on his boat.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I hit something in the water the other day.
Oh, log?
Yeah, under the water.
Jandy on that raft. Ding, 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 ding.
So I got a nice ding in my motor. I got to make sure it's not cracked down on the bottom.
He's got a ding in his dinghy.
Well, I mean, I guess I think I would much rather ding the motor than ding one of the pontoons.
Well, the good news is I have insurance, so if there's an issue,
there you go.
Did it just like tear your prop up, or
no? It just hit the long shaft.
That's what she said.
are we still
I
talking
couldn't
about
see
you
it,
and
and
Jandy
I was
raft?
riding in the middle of the channel, which is crazy, and just felt like I hit ground. I obviously hit something, and it tore up. I mean, it's not torn up or anything, but
Did you have to get towed back to shore?
no, boat ran fine.
Well, this has been interesting for us three. I'm sure no one else. So let's
Boating
go ahead.
Minute with Dave.
Let's go ahead and get started this week. You ready, Tim?
Nope.
I will vamp for a second.
Now.
This week. Okay, this week we're going back to July of 2006. What a month this was. Way better than I anticipated. Not as good as the next show we're going to do. Little cliffhanger there. But it turned out to be good. But for right now, let's see what was happening in your world yesterday. Let's run through some events filter free. Up first, stories that missed the cut. July 2nd, Michael Schumacher wins the U.S. F1 Grand Prix for the 5th time. In doing so, he becomes the first driver to win 5 races at Indianapolis Motor Speedway in any racing series ever.
Is that something big?
Indianapolis Motor Speedway is like the Madison Square Garden of auto racing.
No, Indy sucks. Daytona 500, bitch. Daytona International Speedway.
You don't have to like it, Dave. It's a fact.
It's stupid.
I don't want to go to either of them.
I've been to Indianapolis.
Boring.
I've been to Indy once. I went to Brickyard 97. It's fun. It's a fun track.
Did
You
Metallica
guys-
play there?
No, you guys should come up and visit it. We'll all go to the race together. It's fun.
I've been to Daytona.
But I have too, but for a tour. But apparently Brickyard and like the Indy 500 are two completely different vibes. So I think I'd rather go to Indy 500 than Brickyard.
Less rednecks at the Indy 500. I'd rather go to the Brickyard.
I'd rather go to the Brickyard with my people.
With my people. July 3rd, Detroit Red Wings legend Stevie Y retires from the NHL. He finishes with 692 goals and 1,755 points.
He has a very short last name.
Steve Young was a 49er, not a ice soccer player.
No, this is Steve Yzerman.
Who?
Who? July 3rd, Annika Sorenstam wins her 10th and final major by 4 strokes in a playoff. How do you win by 4 strokes in a playoff at Newport Country Club to win the U.S. Open?
She killed it for a few years and then just disappeared.
Yeah, it was odd.
I love their cigarettes.
Newport?
The Newport Country Club.
It's a country club. She
Like
just
Fabulous cigarettes.
Menthol, yeah.
She didn't make the cigarettes or the country club. They're not hers.
But I love the country club's
There you go.
cigarettes.
That's
I said there, not her.
I thought you said hers. July 4th, Richard Branson sells Virgin Mobile to NTL for $692.4 million.
What is NTL?
Yep. I didn't even know he sold Virgin Mobile. Shows you how much I pay attention. July 7th, Cleveland first baseman Travis Hafner becomes the first player in Major League history to hit 5 grand slams before the All-Star break.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of grand slams.
There are lots of dudes that didn't hit that many grand slams in an entire career.
I mean, and there was a couple years where Travis Hafner was a menace for Cleveland.
Ozzie Smith barely hit that many home runs in his entire career. Not even grand slams.
That's a fact. That is a fact. I mean, Fernando Tatis hit 2 in 1 inning.
Imagine what he could have done before the All-Star break.
Oh, went too far. July 7th, former Pink Floyd guitarist Syd Barrett dies at age 60 from pancreatic cancer. Dark Side of the Moon.
What do Pink Floyd and Dale Earnhardt have in common?
The Wall.
The last hit was The Wall.
That's incorrect.
How do you guys feel about it? I'm a pretty big Pink Floyd fan, but I have to be in the mood for it.
I can only name one Pink Floyd song, and it's because I know that joke.
The Wall.
I can do Dark Side of
the
Wizard of Oz. Yeah.
Wish you were here.
Oh, Dark Side of the Moon, Transformers. I remember that episode.
Yep. Wish You Were Here.
Money.
Money. What was
Money? That's Juvenile.
Oh, Comfortably
Cash
Numb.
Money Records, baby. Taking over the 9-9.
One of my favorite stories about that is Jim Cornette said he booked Jake Roberts and he no-showed, of course. And when Jim called him, this is when he first went back to WWF in late 95. And when Jim called him to get a hold of him, he said it went straight to his answering machine. And the song that was playing was I Have Become Comfortably Numb by Pink Floyd. Which means he was high.
Checks out.
Yep. July 9th, 122 people are killed when an Airbus A310 veers off the runway in wet conditions at Irkutsk Airport in Siberia.
Why would you be standing that close to a runway, idiots?
You know, that's a great question. That's a good question. All you people that like stand around the fence and watch airplanes take off, you're an idiot. Because shit like this happens. July 15th, Avril Lavigne marries Sum 41 lead singer Derek Whibley. Imagine that party.
Don't know who he is.
You don't know Sum 41?
He was a drunk, and now he's damaged his liver so bad he can't even drink alcohol anymore. And he's my age.
Oh.
Killing it. Literally himself.
July 16th, Annika Sorenstam and Lance Armstrong win awards at the 14th SP Awards. Whoops on that one.
You know what the odd part about that is?
He only had one ball.
She has more balls than he does.
I don't think so.
Well, she has like 12 in her bag that she
golfers
carries
have
with her.
balls.
Golf balls.
Ba-doom-tsh.
I'm going to tell you what I told someone at work today. When you have to explain a joke that much, it's not funny.
That's why I'm in charge of the jokes at the end of the show.
That's correct.
They're all about me. What are you talking about, dickhead?
That's true. July 16th, Bob Orton Sr., a professional wrestler and grandfather of Randy Orton, dies at the age of 77.
Did he have a cast on his arm?
I don't think so.
Well, I thought it might be hereditary.
Maybe. July 23rd, Tiger Woods wins his second consecutive Open Championship when he beats Chris DeMarco at the British Open.
Yep.
He was good at golf. He was for a while. July 27th, former NASCAR champion Kurt Busch marries Eva Bryan.
She hot?
I have no
They're
idea.
divorced.
They are divorced now. July 29th, Mel Gibson and Robin Denise Moore got divorced after 31 years of marriage. Can't imagine why that was.
Mel Gibson's the greatest actor of all time.
What?
I said what I said.
Okay.
He's the most anti-Semitic actor of all time.
Well, I mean, we're not talking about him as a person, we're talking about him as an actor.
Adventures of Pluto Nash.
He's not in Adventures of Pluto Nash. He's in
I know,
Adventures of Pluto Nash 3.
Is he?
Even more Nashier.
Yeah. After
He is making shit up at this point.
After Pluto was no longer a planet.
Yeah, it was had $100 million budget. It made $7 million, so they made a part 2.
Of course, why wouldn't
We'll
you?
get our money back.
Yeah. No.
Double or nothing.
Surely this one won't do worse. It did. July 30th, British music television show Top of the Pops airs its last episode after 42 years on the air. Unfortunately, shortly after it was found that host Jimmy Savile allegedly sexually assaulted hundreds of teenage girls. We've covered him on a previous episode as well as on Evolution of Evil, which you can find on our Patreon network.
And he got beat up by a wrestler.
He got beat, by Adrian Street. And that's why we love Adrian Street.
The more you know.
Yeah.
He earned it.
July 31st, Fidel Castro temporarily hands power over to Raul Castro. The celebration was short-lived.
Why?
Because they went back.
I thought he died.
Not in 97. He died in like 2008.
This is
06.
2006.
Oh.
Last week was 97.
Oh. he died in like 2008. And his brother took over and nothing's changed for the country. So
That's correct.
Nah.
Stories in the wheelhouse. July 11th, it's time for the Major League All-Star Game, which here in 2006, not 1997, was the 77th edition of the Midsummer Classic. We head into PNC Park in Pittsburgh, which was the fifth time the game was held in the Steel City, tying it for the most hosts by one city with Cleveland. How is it possible the two cities with the most all-star hosts is Cleveland and Pittsburgh?
The two worst cities in America.
Jeez. Tampa, no. Miami, nah. Chicago, Tampa, or Cleveland and Pittsburgh. The game also had World Series implications as the winning team would have home field advantage for the World Series. Fox had the television rights with Joe Buck and Tim McCarver on the call, while ESPN had radio duties with Dan Schulman and Dave Campbell. 38,000 numbers. Math is hard.
You could have lied. It doesn't.
Yeah,
matter.
nobody cares. 38,904 people packed the stadium to see a star-studded affair. The AL have been dominating interleague play with a 154-98 record. Why did I write the word themes? It doesn't fit in the sentence. This showed the lopsided showing in the 10-year history of interleague play. This was also the year the Yankees' payroll was $194.7 million, which is like Juan Soto's contract this year, which was more than the Marlins, Rockies, Pirates, and Brewers combined. And now, mind you, the Pirates are hosting the All-Star game. The AL had 8 Hall of Famers on the roster, while the NL only sported 3, and none of them were in the starting lineup. Let's go through the elected starting lineups. Now, granted, I believe 2 of these players didn't actually start. They were voted in as starters. American League, in his 13th All-Star game at catcher, Ivan Rodriguez. David Ortiz was at first. Mark Loretta, there's a name from the past. He was at second. A-Rod at third. Derek Jeter at short. Vlad Guerrero, Manny Ramirez, and Ichiro with your outfielders. Your pitchers were completely blocked over in my notes, so I have no idea who they were. In the National League.
In the American League, it was, oh, baby, Kenny Rogers.
Nice.
You got to know when to hold.
The NL was Brad Penny, I think, from the Dodgers.
Know when to fold 'em.
Yeah.
Know when to walk.
Shut up. The National League starting lineup was catcher Paul LaDuca, Albert Pujols at first, Chase Utley at second, David Wright, and Jose Reyes at third and short. By the way, Utley, Wright, and Reyes were all in their first All-Star game. Jason Bay of the Pirates was in the outfield with Carlos Beltran and Alfonso Soriano.
That was a shitty lineup for the National League.
Yeah, it was not. Well, again, they had 3 Hall of Famers. None of them started.
Well, they had to put a pirate in there too. So
Jason Bay. Jason Bay was good for a couple years, though. Then he went to Boston.
In the top of the 9th inning, the American League scored 2 runs off Trevor Hoffman to secure a 3-2 victory. After 2 early groundouts hit to Hoffman on the mound, the National League was 1 out away from winning their first All-Star game in a decade. However, Paul Konerko hit a single, followed by a ground rule double by Troy Gloss. With men on second and third, Hoffman gave up a 2-strike triple to Michael Young, scoring Jose Lopez, who was inserted as a pinch runner for Canerco and Gloss.
I don't even know who Jose Lopez is.
They put him in for 2 runners? That's crazy.
I mean, just Canerco. It scored Jose Lopez, who was inserted as a pinch runner for Canerco, and scored Gloss.
We'll come back to him in just a second.
Troy Gloss?
Yep.
Okay. Of course, the AL would have had no chance at winning this game if it weren't for Tampa Bay Devil Rays legend Scott Kazmir, who pitched a perfect 6th inning.
Yeah, okay. The Century 21 real estate
What if
home
he
run
gave up 4 runs, huh?
well,
It's true.
was held on Monday before the game July 10th. 4 players from each league competed to hit as many home runs in each round to advance and eventually win the contest. This year's Derby featured an important rule change. Home runs in the first round would carry over into the second round. In previous years, some players would hit a tremendous amount of home runs in the first round, but become tired by the second round and hit relatively fewer home runs. Duh.
I'm confused.
Often not enough to qualify for the finals. This rule change didn't matter to a hero of the All-Star game, Troy Glaus, as he only hit 1 home run in the first round. In the famous words of Mr. Baseball, I could piss over that fence. In the finals, Ryan Howard of the Philadelphia Phillies defeated David Wright of the New York Mets 5-4 and hit a total of 23 home runs on the night, leading all competitors. Howard memorably hit his winning home run into a sign guaranteeing one person in the crowd 500 free round trip tickets from Southwest Airlines.
Wow.
What a lucky son of a bitch.
Why is that a thing?
That's, you know how much that's worth? That's like
a lot.
That's like $4.9 billion.
For the second straight year, gold balls were utilized whenever a player had 1 out remaining in the round. Any home runs hit with the gold ball meant Major League Baseball and Century 21 would pledge to donate $21,000 to the Boys and Girls Clubs of America and Easter Seals, respectively. In all, 14 gold ball home runs were hit, constituting $294,000 raised for both charities. None were hit by Troy Glaus.
Why are you shitting on Troy Glaus?
He hit 1 home run.
So?
He was tired.
Pussy.
He was tired.
That's a short fence anyway.
I mean, it's not like Yankee Stadium short.
Not like the Polo Grounds long.
Yeah, not
either.
like that Yankee bitch fence.
340. I could literally piss over that fence.
I'd like to see it.
Give me enough beers. Hold on, fellas. Hold me up. Yeah.
But today, I'm the greatest of all time.
Vernon and Waugh. Mike Vernon with a great left.
Here it is. Page. Pressure with 3. Winston's going to run the ball. Makes a guy miss. Comes down to over the second rafter. Off the floor. Nothing. Through the window. Off the wall. Nothing but net. You like that? You like that? I like that.
You gotta like that, right?
Here we go. Time for box score trivia. 2006 Major League Baseball league leaders. We're going to start with batting average leaders as per the usual.
Albert
And
Pujols.
You're going to go for 6 here. Albert Pujols was number 6.
Derek Jeter.
331. Derek Jeter third, 343.
A-Rod.
A-Rod, no.
Ichiro.
No.
Robinson Cano.
Fourth, 342.
How many we need?
Need
6.
3 more.
No.
Florida State Seminole legend Joe Mauer.
Joe Mauer led the league, 347. There's 4.
Who's that other twin?
He's not on the list, so don't worry about it.
Give us a team.
Let's do former Oakland A's legend, now with Baltimore here in the 06 season.
Ricky Henderson?
No, he won the MVP.
He's the greatest of all time.
He won an MVP on a fluke in like 2003.
Miguel Tejada?
Miguel Tejada was 7th, 330. Let's do
How many is that?
5. You need 1 more. Let's do Colorado. There's 2 of them.
Todd Helton.
You're not going to get one of them for sure. No. This guy also went on to play for the Cardinals. It's not Larry Walker. And
Schmidt. Paul Goldschmidt.
no, he would play for the Diamondbacks. There's
Mike
also
Schmidt.
a Florida a guy that was a Florida Marlin here in 06, but he's probably headed for the Hall of Fame.
Oh, Miguel Cabrera.
Tejada.
Miguel Cabrera, stupid. We already
Was
said
fifth.
Miguel Tejada.
339. Here's the 4 you missed. Matt Holliday of the Colorado Rockies.
Oh, that jackass.
Garrett Atkins. I don't know who that is. He batted 329. Vlad Guerrero, 329, was 8th.
Oh, how did we miss Vlad Guerrero?
And second, Freddie Sanchez. The Pittsburgh
Was he with the
Pirates.
Angels then?
He was.
Do you think he was dirty?
Dirty's no, I'm not repeating that. Home runs.
Pujols.
We'll go 5. Albert Pujols, third with 49.
Big Papi.
Second, 54.
Vlad.
No.
Oh. Soriano.
Ryan Howard.
Fourth, Soriano, 46. Ryan Howard led the league with 58. One
How
more.
many we need?
You need one more. You have the top 4.
Utley?
Well, no Chase Utley. Great guess though. Chicago White Sox. There's 2 of them.
Tomei?
Jim Tomei.
He was still around?
Oh yeah, 42 home runs. Here's the rest: Carlos Beltran, Andrew Jones, Travis Hafner from Stories That Missed the Cut, Jermaine Dye.
Oh, that's the other White Sox.
Yep, and Fat Elvis. Lance Berkman was 5th with 45.
There ain't a damn red to be found anywhere in this shit.
Because the Reds were terrible.
They were.
Let's go to pitching wins. Let's see. There's quite a few. How many recognizable names? Let's go 5.
Pitching wins.
There is one red.
Roy Halladay.
Roy Halladay. Tied for 8th with 16.
Justin Verlander.
Justin Verlander tied for 4th with 17.
Josh Beckett.
Josh Beckett. No.
This is where the Reds get on the board.
Sabathia?
Bronson Arroyo.
Nope.
CC Sabathia.
CC Sabathia. No.
Aaron Harang.
Tied for 8th with 16. Aaron Harang. Number 39 in your program, number 1 in your heart.
Ace of the staff, baby.
Oh, who's the guy on the Twins?
Scott Erickson?
No.
He's the only
Damn.
Twin pitcher you know. Is Scott Erickson.
No, Bert Blyleven. Frank Viola.
There is a
Is there
twin.
a twin on here?
There's a twin leading the league on this list.
Fuck, what's his name?
This might have been the year he won the Cy Young.
Johan Santana.
Johan Santana led the league with 19. That's 4.
Tito Santana.
How many we need?
One more.
Brad Penny.
Because there's like 31 names on
Fucking
this list.
Kenny Rogers.
Brad Penny was tied for 8th with 16. Kenny Rogers tied for 4th with 17. Here's the ones you missed. Carlos Zambrano, Chicago Cubs legend.
Oh,
Brandon Webb, John Smoltz, Derek Lowe.
John Smoltz.
You guys ready for this one? Barry Zito of the Oakland area.
Is he related to Chuck?
Big ass curveball. Irvin Santana. Kevin Millwood shows back up here.
What? Kevin Millwood.
Joe Blanton.
Kevin Millwood wasn't with the Braves then, though.
He was not. He was with Texas. Randy Johnson. Bonus point for if you can guess the team he was on here in 06.
New York.
The Yankees. That is correct. Freddie Garcia. John Garland was 3rd and tied for 1st. Chin Ming Wong of the New York Yankees. Let's do saves to finish up here. Let's do 3. I think you get 3.
Mariano Rivera.
Mariano Rivera. You ready for this? No.
Trevor Hoffman.
2nd, 46.
Not the All-Star game, though.
Correct.
Technically,
Technically, that wouldn't have been a save anyway. That would have been a hold.
Who was the guy for the Cubs? He was good.
Not
Kerry
on
Wood.
here. Nope.
Nope, no Kerry Wood.
Nope.
Is there a red on there?
Nope. You got to win games to get saves.
Well, I figured most of them are close if they were winning.
Let's see. How can I help you guys? The league leader pitched for the Angels, and he actually had the single season saves record for a while.
Eric, what's his name?
Frank K-Rod.
Francisco Rodriguez led the league with 47. So you got the
Eric
top
Gagne.
two. Great guess. No,
It's Gagne, but okay.
Yeah,
he had the record for consecutive saves. He had 83. We got
Chapman.
Chicago White Sox.
Is there a Brewer on there?
No. New York Mets, but the guy is better known for pitching for the Astros and the Phillies. Toronto, Detroit, Oakland, Minnesota, Seattle, and Florida. By the way, they should still be the Florida Marlins.
John Rocker.
No, the guy that played for the Marlins actually also pitched for the Cubs, and his nickname was the Fireman.
He played
Eric Redcrotch.
I don't think that's a person.
He's a fireman.
It's true. Oh,
well, they call him the Fireman. That's his name.
I think the guy from the Mets actually went in the Hall of Fame this year, if not the year before, with the Astros. And he was a lefty.
Mike Scott.
And short.
I'm so bad.
Oh, Roy Oswalt.
He was a starter.
That's a starter.
He was short, and he played for the Astros.
It's true.
What the hell you want?
Donnie Osmond.
Here we go. Here's the rest of your top 10.
Eckersley, Lee Smith, John Franco.
All tied for 8th. Joe Nathan, JJ Putz, and Joe Borowski.
You're a putz.
Nope, I know none of those guys.
Tied for 6th. Todd Jones and Houston Street. 5th, the Toronto Blue Jays, BJ Ryan. 4th of the New York Wets, Billy Wagner had 40 saves.
The Wets?
The New York Wets. And then 3rd of the Chicago White Sox, Bobby Jenks had 41.
Yeah, that's a terrible class of saving.
And that
was Mariano Rivera dead that year or what?
I don't remember him getting hurt, so maybe he was, though. I don't know. I also thought it was odd.
They were just winning by 1 million every game.
Well, when you have a payroll of 190, when your payroll is 5 teams combined, you're doing.
I'm shocked that the Reds didn't get in that list somehow.
Well, you guys are probably still paying for Griffey, so
maybe.
July 20th, in one of the most bizarre stories you will hear, Colin Ferrell goes on the Tonight Show and is confronted by a telephone sex worker named Desiree Bradford, who was also stalking him. Ferrell was one of the more recognizable actors in Hollywood by here in the summer of 2006, having starred in films like Alexander, Miami Vice, Phone Booth, and The Recruit. The fame and hectic schedule also led to Ferrell going into rehab in December of 2005 for addictions to recreational drugs and painkillers. Ferrell believed so strongly in the progress he made in rehab, he continued to go even after he successfully quit using drugs. Quote, "There was an energy that was created, a character that was created that no doubt benefited me. Then there was a stage where it would all began to crumble around me," end quote. To add to this, he also had a sex tape with Nicole Norrain. I didn't know that.
She hot?
I have no idea.
Dave, look it up.
This resulted in Ferrell filing a lawsuit against Norrain and the Internet Commerce Group for unauthorized public distribution, because I forgot to mention Norrain is the one that released it to them. Norrain claimed that she tried to work with the ICG to keep the video private. What does that even mean?
I'm going to show you guys this, but you can't tell anybody.
Yeah, if you're going to keep it private, why show anyone? You dummy. The suits were settled out of
court. I Googled Colin Ferrell sex tape. And the very first thing that pops up on IMDb, user reviews, 1. Colin Ferrell is sexy and a talented actor with a big dick who can't do wrong.
Then we get here to the Late Show here in 2006. Jay Leno was interviewing Ferrell when Desiree Bradford evaded security and stormed the stage with her self-published book expose that no one fucking bought and threw it onto Leno's desk.
I love that it's a self-published book. It's like a stack of notebook paper.
A self-published book expose.
Bradford reportedly leapt up from the audience, jumped on the stage, approached Ferrell in the middle of his interview with Jay Leno. Witnesses said they thought the incident was the first part of a skit. Once Bradford started to speak to the star, Ferrell took her by the elbow and led her off stage to security. Witnesses claim Bradford shouted, "I'll see you in court." And Ferrell replied, "You're insane." I can't do a British accent, sorry. Nor do I have a big dick, so I definitely can't pull that off.
You're insane. Spot of tea.
Big dick. And asked the cameraman to turn off
Big
the
old
cameras.
wanker.
Bradford was detained by Burbank police, although
Burbank.
per NBC's request was not arrested. Bradford was warned that if she returned to the NBC studio, she would be arrested for trespassing. The incident was edited out of the show. Bradford said Ferrell began harassing her.
Sure.
She approached him on The Tonight Show on July 20th and said, in an effort to create a diversion so that her private investigator could serve him with legal papers, she was not bullshitting. She took him to court.
Also, the idea that Colin Ferrell, who again in 2006 is a world-renowned actor,
Has a big dick.
not a bit look, and apparently he's hanging, he's got a knee knocker,
Giant wanker.
and he's gonna start stalking a telephone sex worker. Is
Don't
outstanding.
forget, he went to rehab at one point. He may have gotten all jollied up one night and started talking sex to her.
Wouldn't that be before rehab? No, not during.
I said, well, yeah, it would have been before.
Okay.
Shortly after the whole ordeal, Bradford apologized for her actions, stating that she had been overzealous, but still insisted that her relationship with the movie star was real. Bradford, who had previously written a book about her alleged affair with Alec Baldwin,
Eric Barron,
stated that she believed Ferrell just wanted to be in the book number 2.
I don't know what that means.
What? She wanted her to take a shit in it?
Bradford showed her crazy again, fuming mad, stating he's trying to give the impression that I'm some stalker, some delusional fan, which is absolutely not true.
I am a sex worker.
A Los Angeles Superior Court judge initially ruled that Bradford must keep at least 492 feet away from Ferrell until their future court hearing.
That's a stupid number.
Yeah.
It's 493.
Sorry, I'm 491. That was my bad. Didn't know he was there.
I forgot my tape measure at home.
He just used his dick to measure it off.
The restraining order was eventually extended until 2009. This bitch crazy.
Mm-hmm. Also, I'm not crazy or some crazy fan, but I also bum rushed him on the stage of the Jay Leno show.
Eric Barron.
Eric Barron.
But now we're going to look up Desiree Bradford and see what she looks like.
She's not unattractive.
While Dave does that, let's do this.
Oh, it's time for Dave's Fave. Have you seen it?
You slip her the hot beef injection.
But damn it, I got nothing, guys.
That girl ugly.
I mean, she could be a foot model.
Ew. Only feats. All right, here we go. TJ leads 5-2.
Mm.
4 movies this week. Can Timmy get back in the game?
Pretty sure the score's not really 5-2.
It is. That's what I wrote down, bitch. 5-2. Movie numero uno with a budget of $225 million. Our first movie this week grossed a whopping $1.066 billion with a B at the box office.
In 2006.
This is an American fantasy swashbuckler film. Jack Sparrow races to recover the heart of Davy Jones to avoid enslaving his soul to Jones's service as other friends and foes seek the heart for their own agenda as well. This film stars Johnny Depp, Orlando Bloom, and my God, she's one of my absolute favorite actresses of all time because she is one of the hottest women to ever grace this earth, Keira Knightley. Way hotter than Desiree Bradford.
Well, yeah, definitely. But
And she's British.
you know, she's probably got shit between her teeth.
Wanker.
She got wanker between her teeth?
It's Colin Farrell. He knocked them all out.
I'm absolutely positive I got this name wrong, but I have seen none of the.
All right, Timmy C, let's go.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
No. TJ Steppins.
Again, I definitely. It's Pirates of the Caribbean. Search for the Heart of Davy Jones.
No. Pirates of the Caribbean. Dead Man's Chest. N.A. Losers.
Cleveland Steamer on a dead man's
I have
chest.
never watched a Pirates of the Caribbean movie.
The first one, absolutely phenomenal.
I've been to the Caribbean. Does that count?
Good. All right, here we go. Movie number dos. With a budget of $223 million. Our second movie this week grossed a week $391.1 million at the box office. With a budget of $223, you think you're getting more than $391.
They didn't make any money.
This is an American superhero film. Kal-El returns to Earth after spending 5 years in space examining his homeworld, Krypton. But he finds things have changed while he was gone, and he must once again prove himself important to the world. This film stars Brandon Routh, Kate Bosworth, and Kevin Spacey.
Ooh.
In a land far, far away, Kal-El goes to Krypton. TJ Steppins, what you got?
Superman, Man of Steel.
Incorrect. Timmy C.
Good.
Superman, Man of Steel.
Incorrect. Superman Returns.
I'm really glad that you picked these names that don't have numbers, but long ass names. Good.
Yeah.
I gave each of you half a point for the first one. You get nothing for this one.
Wow, what a dick.
Here we go. With a budget of $54 million. Movie number C this week grossed $130.4 million at the box office. This is an American romantic comedy film.
Oh boy.
This film is absolute horse shit.
Great. I'm feeling confident.
A best man stays on as a house guest with the newlyweds, much to the couple's annoyance.
Oh, I've seen this movie.
This film stars Owen Wilson, Kate Hudson, and Matt Dillon. Not Matt Damon, Matt Dillon.
Matt Damon. I've seen this. God, I think I know it. Matt Dillon.
Damon. All right, Timmy C, what you got?
House Guest?
Incorrect. That's got Sinbad in it, homie.
That's the only one that came to me.
TJ.
Is it Along Came Polly?
No, you guys suck.
Damn it.
You, me, and Dupree. Come on, man.
I should warn you, I stopped watching films in like 1986.
He was like, I became a hermit in 2003.
On a budget of $150 million. Our final movie of the week grossed $164.2 million at the box office.
Ouch.
Yikes. This is an American action crime film. Timmy C, you better get this. This film stars Jamie Foxx and sex talk slayer stalker guy Colin Farrell.
Colin Farrell.
Big wanker. Based on the 1980s TV action drama, this update focuses on detectives Crockett and Tubbs as their respective personal and professional lives become dangerously intertwined.
I got this one.
And you've never seen the movie.
Uh-uh.
TJ, what you got?
Miami Vice.
My man, TJ, 2 points. Timmy.
Bad Boys 5. No, Miami Vice.
All right, Timmy gets 1 point.
Of course I do.
All right, so it was 5-2. So now Timmy has 3.5. And TJ has 6.5.
And Colin
You
Farrell
guys-
has 9.5.
You guys sucked that week.
It's 2006. I told you I wasn't going to do well. Hi, Jandy.
Did she bring you cookies and milk? What is this bullshit?
Ask that again.
Did you just bring him cookies and milk?
Yeah, I decided to share my cookie with him.
He's fat enough. Stop
I
it.
We
feel
split
so,
it in half. They're really good. I had gluten-free ones made for my birthday from a local baker. and so I brought him half.
Is there weed in them?
There is not.
Gluten-free weed.
Yeah.
Gluten-free.
I feel so warm
CBD.
so warm and wholesome right now by what just transpired that I think we should just end the show because we're gonna ruin it.
What do we got left?
Kid Rock and Pamela Anderson's next.
Oh, no,
Yep.
we have to go Kid Rock and Pamela Anderson. Jandy knows these two people
I
personally.
actually do.
I just synced him last week.
And then Shmuley.
Shmuley Botek.
Shmuley was not in Pop.
He's not, unfortunately, he's not in the story, but his name.
Yeah, we have to do this story, and then Jandy can stay on for music.
I mean, I
Okay.
can go away if you want to finish your thing. I just came to bring you a treat.
A treat.
Well, while
He's
we're
a
here,
child.
let's break into the next story. July 29th, two of the bigger entertainment icons in the industry get hitched when Pamela Anderson and Kid Rock get married in Saint-Tropez, France. Let me save you some excitement. They didn't last a year. For the record, 2006. Why was this not in Have You Seen It? 2006 was also the year Pamela appeared in the spoof documentary Borat, Cultural Learnings of America for Make Benefit Glorious Nation of Kazakhstan.
Did you call her Pamela?
Pamela, that's what he calls her in the movie.
Pamela.
Pamela Anderson.
Pamela Anderson.
We've documented on a previous episode about her tumultuous relationship with Tommy Lee, but the Kid Rock relationship is just as weird, just without a sex tape. After Tommy
Teeny
Lee,
Wanger.
Teeny Wanger. After Tommy Lee, well, especially, I mean, you're
Compared to
following
Tommy
Lee, who's
He's
got
working with a hammer.
who's got a shovel in his pants. After Tommy Lee, she was engaged to Marcus Schneckenberg, but they broke up in 2001.
Obviously, small penis, just by the
Sure.
name.
I mean,
He's related to
Schneckenberg.
Shmuley.
Then 5 years later, she hooks up with Kid Rock. They were actually engaged once before in 2003, but they broke up as well before they actually got to their wedding. Shortly after this wedding in 2006, Pamela posted the following on her blog, quote, "Feels like I've been stuck in a time warp, not able to let go of my family picture. It's been sad and lonely and frustrating. I've raised my kids in the hope of a miracle. Well, my miracle came in. Imagine calling Kid Rock a miracle. Heavens. And
He
came
is
back.
Miracle.
Hey, see him in concert. He is a miracle. Trust me.
Dude's awesome.
Settle down, Skippy. And came back because he knew that I'd wake up one day and realize that I was waiting for nothing. I'm moving on. I feel like I'm finally free. I'm in love. A year later, when the two divorced in 2007, it was said that Kid Rock was outraged because of her cameo in the Borat movie, which I can't wrap my head around. I don't understand.
He hates foreigners.
But he's not really foreign.
Well, he is. He's not American.
The story gets better. Just wait.
I'm on pins and needles.
Maybe it's because she didn't bring him cookies.
I mean, of course.
She brought him Nookie though, so that's like
I'm sure she had plenty of milk in those Hooters.
nah, lots of silicone.
Barbed wire.
Barbed wire.
No,
thank
it's just
you.
barbed wire.
No, it's barbed.
Her
It's
name's
barbed.
Barb.
It's
It's
barbed.
Barbara Wire.
Wobble wire. All right, let's go through the history of this. The Baywatch star first met the rocker backstage at Radio City Music Hall in New York City at a VH1 tribute to Aretha Franklin,
Nice.
where Kid Rock performed alongside the Queen of Soul because
That
he's
sounds-
a badass at
That's-
music.
Sounds terrible.
Immediately following their first encounter, Anderson made it clear that Rock had left an impression on her. She sent him an Easter basket. That was a very Jandy move and not weird at all.
How many over under and how many? What was those eggs with the cream on them back in the day?
It was
Cadbury egg.
Cadbury. How many Cadbury eggs? Are there?
8 pallets of Peeps.
Oh,
Ew.
what an asshole! Who eats Peeps?
That's why I left her.
That
That
was the
horse
first
sent me
time.
Peeps.
What am I supposed to do with all these Peeps?
3 years after their initial split,
He
the
finally
former
got rid of
couple-
the Peeps.
He got rid of the Peeps, and then he was out. So the former couple reunited on a mutual friend's yacht in the south of France because it's what rich people do.
Yes.
Sparks flew, and the pair quickly rekindled their flame. It was like, quote, "Let's just fucking get married over here and get it over with," Rock told Rolling Stone. The pair celebrated the first of several wedding ceremonies shortly after on yet another yacht in St. Tropez.
You know,
Tropez? Trope?
Kid Rock can really convey, romanticism. Let's just fucking get married. Who gives a shit?
Well, they did it several times, so we'll get into that.
I mean, he was probably over it.
So we're at 1 here in France. A few days later, the newlyweds made their union official at a Beverly Hills courthouse. That's 2.
Okay.
2 weeks later, the honeymoon phase was still in full swing when the pair jumped on stage at Nashville's Tootsie's Orchid Lounge and surprised guests by exchanging vows once again. That's 3. According to Kirk Webster, Rock's Nashville-based publicist.
Look how weird his fingers are. It's gross.
Do you think they get married at Hot Rocks?
I know. Well, that's 3 that we know of. But just 4 months after tying the knot, that's 1.25 months per marriage. The pair filed for divorce. Anderson's rep confirmed the news to People, saying, quote, "Pamela filed for divorce last week. It wasn't a happy Thanksgiving."
What a dick.
And Kid Rock's a
understand
turkey.
that. Also, it's People magazine. We should make that and not just be like he was just wandering around the streets being like, "Hey,
People.
they just filed for divorce."
He told Shmuley.
He told Schmilly Boteach.
That's the guy's name. I follow him on Twitter now.
We do. All of us do.
Nearly a year after their divorce. By the way, this is big dick energy right here. Rock famously got into an altercation at the MTV Music Awards with Anderson's ex, Tommy Lee, whom Anderson had gotten back together with after splitting with Rock.
Wouldn't you?
After Rock returned from the bathroom to find Lee sitting at his table, he took it upon himself to punch the Motley Crue drummer in the face. Ain't love grand?
I bet all the money I have, Kid Rock beat the shit out of Tommy Lee.
Yeah, I bet he, yeah.
Tommy Lee's a skinny little bitch.
Tommy Lee
He
gets
got
to
beat
that.
up by his own kid.
Tommy Lee gets to that zipper though. Kid Rock's in trouble.
It's over.
Well, if he starts swinging around his big man hammer, yeah, Kid Rock's fucked. But
Kid Rock's getting shish kebabbed if that's what we get down to.
according to Rock in a 2007 interview, getting married is a ball. Getting married is the most fun you can have in life. Being married sucks.
That's why he got married 3 times in 4 months.
I'm gonna have to disagree with that, by the way.
Rock said the marriage took its final bow when Anderson was in Vancouver.
Well, she is Canadian.
She's in Vancouver shooting a movie, and I have Lakers seats on the floor. And I'm going to go to the Lakers game with my friend Jesse James.
Oof.
I could tell
The
something
Road
was up.
Dog?
No.
The not Road Dog, the motorcycle guy.
The guy that was beating Sandra Bullock.
No, I think he was cheating on her all the time.
I thought he beat her too.
With Kid Rock.
I could tell something was up. It was like she didn't want me to have fun when she wasn't around. She's trying to get me to come to Vancouver, and I'm like, baby, I got these tickets. I'll see you on the weekend there. And that leads in her saying, you don't care about me, blah, blah, blah.
He's a
Rock
sensitive
said
dude.
then the conversation took an unexpected turn, and Anderson claimed that she had just had a miscarriage and that Rock didn't even give a fuck. Rock then chartered a $60,000 plane to fly to Vancouver, and when he gets there, he sees her partying at this restaurant, drinking champagne and jumping on the tables.
Nice.
I'd have punched Borat.
How is it Borat's fault?
His movie. He gets the brunt.
I think she was up there filming Shmuley Goes to Jail or something.
Shmuley goes to Pound Town.
Ah, There's so much hair.
Does that mean
What?
it's my turn?
If I can find it, yeah.
That means it's my turn.
Mm.
Let's go to Timmy's Trivioki.
Figaro. Figaro, 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 Figaro.
That's not Tosca.
Ugh, my ears.
My neck, my back.
Yep. I remember. Everyone remembers when Elvis performed that.
Jamaica, ooh, I wanna take you to Bermuda, Bahamas, come on, pretty mama, Ilongo, Montego, baby.
I wanna go.
And Jenny was laughing at Fat Timmy.
She's right.
He's right. He earned it. So we're gonna go on and make this fair for this week. Oh, I know how much 2006 music he knows. Because it's about as much as I knew.
For one, Timmy's fat, tucked in dress shirt, khakis, phone on belt.
What an idiot! And that was just in 2019.
Yeah, that was.
Hey, like 16, 17. It's almost a decade ago, asshole.
I love you.
Which, by the way, 19 was still 5 years ago. So, all right. Song number 1. Clue number 1. Meet me.
Meet me halfway across the sky.
Clue number 2.
No.
In the club.
50 Cent in the club. You can find me in the club, bottle full of bubs.
Clue number 3. At the mall.
Sweat drips down these balls.
At the mall?
Clue number 4. Anywhere at all.
These are terrible clues.
These are terrible clues.
Clue number 5. Young jock.
Meet me in the crib. It's going down.
Yeah.
Anywhere you want, it's going down. Meet
Yes.
me in the mall. It's going down. Got it. Young
I think it's meet me in the club. It's going down. Meet me at the mall. It's going to, yeah.
I think it's meet me in the crib.
I don't know.
You know what,
I
Timmy?
don't want to meet his dumbass anywhere.
Timmy was right the first time.
You might have a chance on the last
Again,
song.
look
TJ.
at me. I don't know this shit. You got any Tim McGraw?
Song number 2.
He's got
clue
some
number
Avril
1.
Lavigne. Don't worry.
I'm in Avril Lavigne.
Song number 2. Clue number 1. Ever since I was little.
It's going down, down, and really around. Sugar, we're going down, singing. Ever since I was little.
That band was on the Hot 100, not that song.
Nuts
Clue
on the
number
bedpost.
2. Fuck you.
That's rude.
CeeLo, fuck you.
Driving around town with this girl I love, and I'm
I
not.
was like, fuck you.
Clue number 3.
Nope.
Round mound.
I don't know what that means. Pound
That's what
town.
Timmy has, a round mound of sack hair under his wiener.
Wow.
Clue number 4. CeeLo.
Is that
that-
Gnarls
Barkley crazy?
TJ gets it.
I said it. Gnarls Barkley, he stole it.
Good job.
I make
TJ.
it crazy.
TJ got it.
I definitely got it.
We're tied 1-1. Song number 3. Clue number 1.
Here we go. Last song.
Got a lovely face.
That's what she said.
Thank you.
Clue number 2. Not sane. You're welcome. Clue number 3. Take it all.
That's what I told Jandy.
Oh boy. Okay.
Well, clue number 4 is not what she told you. I like the way you fuck me.
Buck
Crazy
Cherry.
bitch.
Crazy bitch.
Dave gets it.
I said the band though. It's Buck Cherry.
Yeah, but
I said Gnarls Barkley before you.
That was also
Peter
clue
Bag.
number 5 was Buck Cherry. Good job. But yes, crazy bitch.
Crazy
You're
bitch.
crazy, bitch.
Hey,
Bitch,
You're crazy, bitch, but so
so good on top of it when I dream.
you all
Doing you all night.
back and keep it right
Scratches all up and down my back.
We're good singers.
I'm pretty
Thank
sure
you for
some
joining
of
us,
the singers
Jandy.
Might be deaf now. You might have made them deaf.
All right, you sing.
You're really good.
I know better.
She got
All right,
kicked
yeah.
out of. She got kicked out of the church choir. I mean, come on.
Yeah, make your
I don't
ears
even think
bleed.
I was allowed to.
When we go to
audition.
church and stand up to sing, I'm just like, shh, shh, shh.
Is this wait? Hold on. Did you really get kicked out of the church choir? Is this real?
This is her church ball gag.
I
Just
feel
so
like
she
this.
can't sing.
I feel like this could be a deep cut story we could do. Janny gets kicked out of church choir.
They wouldn't even let me audition.
Dude, the day I met Jandy,
She was doing karaoke.
we met at a party, and then I had to go home to take my dog out.
This is a great story so far.
Yeah.
Dog's still alive to this day.
Okay,
Good.
not any
Old as
brand
shit.
new-
Babe, look at my name, Squirrel.
Clearly. Like,
Okay.
Look at my name, Squirrel.
So then we went to a place called the Green Iguana in Tampa. Restaurant place.
We gathered that. Thank you.
And then we talked all night, and then like we were playing a little kissy face stuff, and then we went to the car after the bar closed.
You guys listen to Buck Cherry?
Yeah, she was like, "Hey,
You're
you're crazy, Dave."
your storytelling abilities. I tell you what.
Tim has to pee.
Yep.
So we're there and we're just chilling, and she tells me her favorite singer is Akon, and she starts singing Akon.
I don't know who that is.
Akon, locked up, won't let me out.
Again, I will look at me.
And I'm like, okay, this girl's really hot. But good God, if I have to listen to her sing, I'm leaving. I dropped my earbud.
Here, you can have mine. Love
Again,
Love
it would
you.
have been like, oh, Boston was on. I'm with you. I can follow the story now. Yeah. Speaking of following the story, I am so excited to do this. Unintentionally, for the second week in a row, we're doing a military story. Last week's was the espionage, not so great. Well, no, that was 97. That was 2 weeks ago. This week, we're doing 06, much better story. Also made a fantastic movie about it. July 25th for the deep cut. It's kind of a sad occurrence, but again, I could not be more excited to cover it because of this man's legendary story. Here on July 25th, U.S. Navy Master Diver Carl Brashear.
And then the next morning, Jandy woke up and made me take her to Costco because she was out of gluten-free bread. Oh, sorry.
No, the next morning we went to my dad's beach house, watched Buccaneers game, and then went to Gators.
And she went back for a second date after you made her watch a Bucks game?
Yeah. Now she's a Bucks fan.
Y'all, we're talking about Carl Brashear.
Oh, my bad.
I'll just start the sentence over again. Here on July 25th, U.S. Navy Master Diver Carl Brashear passes away at the age of 75. Carl Brashear was the first ever African-American Navy Master Diver.
Lies.
What?
We'll get to it.
We'll get to it.
Okay. And if that name sounds familiar, he was the subject of the 2000 film Men of Honor starring Cuba Gooding Jr. and Robert De Niro.
That movie's awesome, by the way.
It's a great fucking movie.
Cookie!
Great
Okay.
movie.
Stand up, Cookie.
By the way, Robert De Niro's character didn't exist.
No, it was multiple people that he had
named,
interacted with through his Navy career, all kind of
TJ
rolled
hates
into
us.
one.
Yeah, because you guys want to shut the fuck up. Brashear was born on January 19th, 1931 in Tonyville, Kentucky.
Never been there.
Okay, thank you, Timmy. He was the sixth of 16 children to parents McDonald. McDonald was his name.
A lot of semen there.
Ba-da-da-da-da.
He was loving it because they had 16 kids. And Gonzalo Brashear, who were both sharecroppers. Brashear would enlist in the Navy on February 25th, 1948, 4 months before the military was desegregated by then President Harry S. Truman. He then graduated from the U.S. Navy Diving and Salvage School in 1954, becoming the first African-American to do so, but apparently my partners here are calling bullshit on that, so that should be fun. Throughout his time at diving school, Brashear faced rampant racism and would often find notes on his bed saying things we can't repeat on this show. After he successfully graduated diving school, Brashear built a reputation for himself, with one of his first recovery missions being recovering 16,000 rounds of ammunition from a barge that had broken in half and sunk. Then on his first tour of shore duty in Quonset Point in Rhode Island, after a Blue Angel crashed into the water. He even escorted the presidential yacht, which I didn't know was a thing, called Barbara Ann. Then in January of 1966, what's now known as the Palomares incident, a B-28 nuclear bomb was lost off the shore of Spain.
Whoops.
The bomb, yeah, my bad, y'all.
I'm going to go look for it next month.
So we had a bomb, and now we don't. Sorry, guys.
Sorry, Spain, in case you blow off the map.
We got to the base where we're like, hey, where'd that bomb go? It was back here a minute ago. The bomb was lost after a U.S. Air Force B-52 Stratofortress and a KC-135 Stratotanker collided during a mid-flight refueling. During the bomb recovery on March 23rd, a lifting cable snapped, causing a pipe to swing across the deck. Brashear lunged to push a shipmate out of the way, and it resulted in Brashear losing his left leg below the knee.
Though Carl had only a middle school education and spent much of his early life tending to farm duties such as milking cows and chopping wood, he had his sights set beyond the agricultural world of Kentucky.
By the way, it's about a half hour outside of Elizabethtown, Kentucky.
Also,
near Hodgenville.
Middle school still to this day is about all you can hope for in Kentucky. So, I mean, it checks out.
In 1948, after meeting with military recruiters, 17-year-old Carl packed his bags and joined the U.S. Navy, which had only been desegregated 2 years before his enlistment. At the time,
do you think it's because there were so many seamen in his house that he just wanted to become one?
Probably.
17 kids. Jesus.
16.
Whatever.
At the time, many black soldiers in the Navy only held lower-level roles such as messmen, cooks, and stewards. A few years after joining the Navy while on a trip to Key West, Florida, Brashear got his first glimpse of Navy divers and knew that is what he wanted to do. One of the trickiest parts of Carl's journey, even before putting on any diving gear, was just getting his application accepted. Brashear put in a lot of work, which was denied automatically because they didn't want a black man going to Navy dive school. What?
A lot of applications. Not work.
According to Carl, I can honestly say that I reached my goal in the Navy. It was an exciting career. It was a rewarding career. But then it wasn't a bed of roses either. I had my ups and downs in the Navy, but I would do it over if I could. I enjoyed the excitement of being a deep sea diver. I think the Navy was the best place for me to grow up and find myself.
All right. So, Carl Brashear, not the first Navy master diver. John Henry Dick Turpin was a sailor in the United States Navy in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. Turpin was one of the first African-American chief petty officers in the U.S. Navy.
This is just my personal opinion, but when your name is John Henry, but your nickname's Dick, that's not like a play on words for your name.
Oh, thank
you. There's probably a reason he was called Dick.
It was 1800 and something. They didn't even know what those were then.
What, dicks?
He also claimed to be the real first African-American master diver, and he was. He was a mess attendant on the battleship USS Maine when it exploded in Havana Harbor, Cuba, under mysterious circumstances in the night of February 15th, 1898. Turpin was one of 90 out of 350 officers and men aboard the Maine that night to survive the explosion.
In case you're wondering, the USS Maine looked like the Mayflower.
Not quite, but it was close.
It may have been.
The Maine flower.
The Maine flower.
Maine flower. Then he was part of another explosion, and he was assigned to Mare Island in the Naval Shipyard in California. It was during this time he probably learned to be a diver.
Because he kept exploding and falling in the water.
Yeah, he's like, they keep throwing me in anyway. I might as well learn how to breathe down here. In 1915, Turpin worked as a diver in efforts to raise the sunken submarine USS F-4 in Honolulu, Hawaii. He became qualified as a master diver, most probably the first African-American sailor to do so. Turpin was also credited with being involved in the development of underwater cutting torch.
That's
That's
badass.
pretty ingenious. Yeah.
That's badass.
After the U.S. entered World War I in April 1917, Turpin was recalled to service. On June 1st, 1917, he became a chief's gunner's mate on the cruiser Marblehead, which made him among the first African-American chief petty officers in the U.S. Navy. During his time in the Navy, he was the Navy boxing champion in several different weight classes throughout his Navy career and was a boxing instructor at the United States Naval Academy in Annapolis, Maryland. Two badasses.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, whether or not Carl Brashear was the first African-American master diver, the dude was still a bad son bitch.
They were both bad son bitches.
But and you know, this guy too, but I mean both, just incredible men.
Wait a minute. This guy too. You think it was easy for a black man in the late 1800s, early 1900s?
I can't believe he was in the Navy to begin with in that time frame.
Right?
You want to join the Navy? Get the fuck out of here. Like, no, we're not doing that. Dick. That's probably where Dick came from.
Right? So, yeah, two very badass individuals. By the way, Dick taught boxing at the Naval Academy.
Yeah.
There was a boxing movie too with Tyrese Gibson and James Franco. It's called
$1
Annapolis.
Million Dollar Baby.
We talked about it on Dave's Faves one time.
$1 million
Did we? I don't remember that at all.
Rocky IV.
Y'all didn't get it. Nobody got the points.
That's because no one.
Of course. Any closing thoughts on Carl Brashear or old Dick Turpin here before?
If you've not seen the movie, go see it.
It's phenomenal.
Men of Honor. It's excellent.
He saved a guy's life, destroyed his leg, decided to have his leg amputated because of the damage done to it. He couldn't return to his naval job because he was never going to be able to really walk again.
But if they cut it off,
got the leg amputated, and then had more of it amputated after that.
Yep.
Then had a white prosthetic leg.
White. I like that you called it a white prosthetic leg.
He's not wrong. It's technically
He was cracker from the knee down on one side.
I don't know.
But that was the thing. They didn't have prosthetics that matched skin color for African Americans back in those days. So it was a point of the story that was, it was like, and here he is with his white leg.
and then to add again, this was when did this take place? The 60s was his trial?
Yeah, early 60s.
Yeah. So to add to the bullshit, again, for people who don't read and don't understand how bad race relationships were where segregation is still going on. So this man is a very well decorated. Again, if you're going to make a Master Diver Hall of Fame, you're probably going to name it after Carl.
And had to go to diving school twice.
Right.
So because he messed up something and they kicked him out. So a couple years later, he went back and had to do it. I mean, he had to go through everything twice, and they only kicked him out because of his skin color.
They changed the suit when he was preparing to get recertified after his leg. They're like, no, that other suit was way too light. You have to now wear this suit, which is much heavier.
And it's not
By the way, when you're wearing it, you're going to be underwater, but we want to see you do it with regular gravity.
Well, and it's not like what you think scuba divers wear nowadays. It was one of those big metal clunky things. It looks like you look like an astronaut in it.
It makes astronaut shit look light.
Yeah. So the movie's incredible.
De Niro's great.
The movie was pretty spot on. He said, obviously he did say Robert De Niro's character was not a real person, but it was multiple people.
Amalgamation.
Yeah, all put in together.
But again, in the 60s, he loses again. He does Silver Star shit, loses his leg saving a crew member on the ship he was on. Has to have his leg amputated twice, which I didn't know you could do that. And then gets a prosthetic, which back in those days, a prosthetic leg had to like get strapped over your shoulders because they still didn't know what they were doing.
It was like a tree trunk, and it got hollowed out in the middle. And
right, and then to maintain his master diver status, they made him go in front of a court, put the suit on, and what was it? 10 steps. He had to take 10 steps.
12 steps.
12 steps in this 400-pound suit with a fake leg.
Like he's lucky the leg didn't crumble under it.
Like, what are we doing?
If the white people were smart, they would have rigged that white leg to just crumble.
In all honesty, if it would have been a fair and balanced thing, as soon as he stood up, you'd have been like, all right, let's go ahead and sit down. I didn't even expect you to get that far.
Because guess what? You're not going to wear this big heavy motherfucker on land. You're going to wear it underwater.
Underwater. Correct.
Yeah. Like, movie's incredible. Men of Honor.
Absolutely.
Incredible movie. You have to watch it.
It's one of those movies, every role is cast perfect.
Yeah.
They didn't miss. So, Men of Honor, go watch it. Enjoy that. And then if you enjoyed this week's episode, please let us know. Give us that 5-star review wherever you get this podcast. Make sure to follow the show on Twitter at FF Podcast, on Instagram at Filter Free Podcast. Follow our network at Ram Sports Net. As for us, you can find us all on our social media platforms at Timmy C.
At Timmy C 1979.
Dollar Bill Dave.
Follow me on X at Dave in the HSV.
And I am at T Stevens 91. Next week we're going to cover, are you guys ready for this? July of 1969.
Woodstock?
The summer of 69. That was not in July.
I'm going on vacation. Y'all do that shit.
You're not going on vacation. You will be here. There's musical festivals everywhere. Ironically, none of them are Woodstock. An all-star game in Washington, D.C. We have the space race and so much more. I cannot wait to cover that show. This has been the Filter Free Podcast, and so long for now.
Joke of the week. How come Timmy C no longer works at the orange juice factory?
I love that we're doing Timmy C jokes every week. I don't know.
He got canned. Said he couldn't concentrate.
Well, there's two. There was two punchlines with that one.
Bitch, I'm from Concentrate.
Concentrate, Kentucky.
The first